Hi guys, welcome to the shop. I thought I'd shoot a short little video here and show you the little 3D printed drive shaft tunnel cover that I've made. I designed it in Fusion 360. It was pretty simple, and I think it'll help combat the problem of getting dirt into the spur gear and pinion and into the rear differential. I've got a chassis here. I've been rebuilding a couple of trucks because I've kind of worn stuff out, and it's time to go through some of these and make one good truck out of a couple. But so here you can see I've got one torn down, pretty much bare bones down to the chassis and suspension hanging off of it. But you can see here, that's the spur gear. I don't have a motor in there right now, of course. Let me put the, this is the stock brushed motor that comes with the cheaper version. This will not fit my modification I'm going to show you here in a second. The little plastic part that you print won't fit with this brushed motor because it's a pretty big diameter. I'm looking up here to see. I've got a brushless that you can compare, so you can see how much smaller in diameter. Get my hand out of the way. You can see how much smaller the brushless motor is, and we don't run the brushed motors anyway. But anyway, that's where the motor would go. Then your speed controller is going to go in here and servo up here. So let me get that out of there. And here's the cover. And if I don't have it on Thingiverse already, I'll put it out there. Please leave me a comment if you want this and it's not there. My Thingiverse account, I think, is the same as my YouTube, RV Jim D. But I'll try and leave a link to this in the comments of the video. But that's the part. It goes right there, and it just slips right over the drive shaft. It's nice and tight down here. You could probably put a little bit of sealant of some sort, like RTV or silicone goo or something. You want to make sure that it's not too long here. When you put the cover back here, it might be too long and it'll try to wedge itself in there, be too tight. There's no good way to completely seal it off, because up here, that's the cutout, and it has to clear the steering, what do you call that, the tie rod between the left and right side. So you can't really completely eliminate it, but this is going to help a lot. And this is very similar, if one of my earlier videos, if you watched it, where I glued a playing card in here from top to bottom to do the same thing, to keep the dirt out. So if it's too long, if you print this out, if you want me to, I can shorten it up. I've actually shortened it 1 millimeter because the last one I did I thought it was just a bit long and I had to sand it. But you could easily sand back here and shorten the overall length. You want this to probably be like it is, so sand it from the back. It should be just the right height then, so when you put this back on, I got it upside down, when you put that back on, this fits right over the top of it, and then it screws here and here, and then of course your cover goes over there. That'll hold it down. So it works pretty good. The first one I did, and then one of the buddies in the group has also done a couple of trucks with this little part, and seems to be working. There just might be some sanding to do just to get it to fit perfect. But if you find that it's not quite right, let me know. I can change it real easily. It's in Fusion 360, and I'd even give you that file if you wanted that. But you can see here that it's well, let me show you. If you print this, if you download the files and you print it this way. This is the direction it would sit on the print bed. I printed this one on my Mini, what the heck's the name of that Monoprice Mini version 2. You have to do it diagonally on the bed. It's just a little bit too long for the bed, but it'll fit on there diagonally, and then print it that way. So it's printing. Let me show you. So it's going to go back and forth like that, the print head, and build up that way. But that way, it's not really strong. I printed this at 0.2, I think. You could print it even 0.1 if you wanted to give it a little bit more strength. But so you could crack it this way, since the grain runs this way, if you squeeze it like that, it'll crack it, but it'd be real strong the other direction. But it doesn't need to be terribly, and you can glue this stuff. This is just PLA. You can glue it with super glue, and that's it. Kind of rambling, but please leave me a comment if you use this and it works for you or not. If there's trouble with it, something, just leave me a comment. I'd be interested to know who sees the video and who's actually making use of this part. That's it. See you next time.